Tell us how we're ready.
All right, appreciate it, Rick. Good to see you guys. Maybe the last time, maybe one more time. But yeah, I think just overall recap of the season. Obviously, Saturday ended really well for us. Found a way to protect home court again against obviously the best team in the league according to the regular season. So for us, man, just kind of put everything in recap. I think it's important to recognize these guys. Really productive growth from year one to year two. Had a chance to win 19 regular season games, which hasn't been done since we joined the SoCon. Finished second for the first time since joining the SoCon. So really encouraged by our guys, happy for our guys. But I think if you really sat in our locker room and said, "Hey, are you guys satisfied?" I think the answer is heck no. I think there's a lot left. I think this is a group that's fired up to go to Asheville. Feel like we have a chance to compete for a championship and feel like we should. Lost some close games early on and even a couple late that things go differently. One or two adjustments or one or two made shots and we're sent out of here potentially with the regular season championship. So I think the hunger, the confidence of our guys, I think we're fired up to get to Asheville. But I don't want to discredit. I think when you put together a team in June, July, you want to have a team that has a chance to compete, chance that you feel like you can win a championship. And this is a group that we felt like during the regular season we had a chance to compete for one. Fell a little short, but feel like we got a great chance going into Asheville. And for these guys, man, just excited to coach them every day. Got a great group of dudes that have really bought into what we're asking to do, and I think we're peaking. I think we're playing our best basketball. Beat some really good teams. Obviously lost to Western late. They're on a 6-game winning streak. Kind of unique. We get a chance to go play them right out the gate in Asheville. So, everyone always asks, hey, what do you think about the bracket? And I think Coach would agree with me. We don't really care about the bracket. We're going to play the team in front of us, and in March is different. Teams they either they rise or they falter, and so with us, I think we're a group that's playing with a lot of confidence. We're playing with some edge, and we're excited to get to Asheville. So before I let you guys ask any questions, I should have started with it, but congrats to Coach and their girls, man. Just because of schedule, I've only had a chance to watch 3 home games this year live, and man, I walked out of that thing. It was actually it was a Furman loss. Now that I walked out of there, I told you in the hallway, I was like, man, you got a special group. Like, stick at it, and she knows obviously what she's doing with her group. But I watching that thing the last couple of weeks, man, I would not want to be on that other side of the women's bracket. So, congrats to you guys on a heck of a year so far. I know there's a lot left in Asheville, but yep. So. Long story short, man, you can tell I'm juiced about our group. I think we got a ton of confidence. We got the right guys in the right positions, and we're going to go up there and play with a ton of confidence. So let you guys kind of ask any questions.
How did that win feel on Saturday, Coach? Obviously, you're playing one of the best teams in the league, but to dominate in the first half and get out to a really great start, how does that help you guys build that momentum as you go to Asheville?
Yeah, I think anytime you protect home court, you win. You're going to feel good about it. To beat the team that's best team in the league. They won the league. They had a tremendous regular season. I think it's kind of, I guess, lets our guys, we know how good we are, but I think maybe everybody else can say, hey, okay, this is a team that can we beat all the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seeds, whatever you want to look at it. But it was a good Saturday. It's good to end on home court. What was it, 14-1 at home. So good to finish. That's the last time that group's ever most likely going to play at Hawkins Arena. So good to go out on a win that way.
I know you know me by now. I'm always the guy looking at the box scores, the stats, things like that. But to go 14-1 at home, almost undefeated, how special is that to have just such a strong home court advantage and just be able to win in your building? Because it's pretty nice statistic to have.
Yeah, I think it's twofold. I mean, you want to protect home court. You want to make sure that one, you win the games. But two, we're trying to build something special here. And I think you 14-1 at home. You're getting students involved. You're getting the community involved. We're not just selling a product that's going 500. We're winning games in that building, and I think that's important as you look forward as we start building this thing and try to stack success. Home wins are really important. I think it brings great energy to the campus, brings great energy to Macon, to Mercer. So really important.
And I think just one thing I've noticed personally is watching games. Some of those late game situations. Obviously, you talk about things going one way or another. How does your team rise up, as you mentioned in your opening statement? To the tournament, to those big moments, especially in the final 4 minutes of the game, which are arguably some of the most important.
Yeah, I think you got to play with great confidence on the offensive side. You got to play with great edge on the defensive side. And yes, you're going in a win or go home. You can't live and die with every possession. You got to make the right play, 40 minutes, and you can't be results oriented. Sometimes you're going to play great defense and they're going to make a shot. Sometimes you're going to take a bad shot and it goes in. You got to stick to the game plan. You got to understand that it is playing with urgency, but it's not playing chaotic. And I think our group is really finding that groove as we go down the stretch here.
You already mentioned Western being hot, you get a unique opportunity to turn around and play them again. What are some of the pros and cons of that?
I said, really, I mean, I don't really care who we play. The bracket was going to come out, and it's human nature to say, hey, what do you think? Man, it didn't matter who we play. I'm fired up to play Western again. Obviously, pretty familiar with them, just playing them a week ago. Got great respect for them. Tim Kraft, unbelievable coach. They're playing well at the right time. They probably thought they'd have a little better regular season. They retained a lot from last year, so I think they're hitting their groove at the right time as well. But I think there's a lot of teams in March that can go to Asheville and have success. But again, we'll dig in them a little bit later this week. But the reality is we got to focus on us being the best version of us.
Obviously, you don't want there to be any change based on the environment you're playing in, but we mentioned the home record. You guys didn't struggle on the road, I don't think at all, really. But how do you think they're going to react to the tournament environment? The arena up there, maybe games in a row in one spot. Helpful, hurtful, or just kind of whatever?
Yeah, I think our dudes are going to be fired up. I mean, I think they're ready to win a championship. And how do you do it? You have a good Monday, good Tuesday, good Wednesday, good Thursday, good Friday, and then you go up there Saturday and you play loose, you play confident. I think, in our opinion, we feel very confident we can go in there and win 3 in a row. You're not hoping it works out. You're going to make it work out. And so I think our dudes will see a bunch of people in the arena and playing at a completely different venue. I think it's all encouraging for us.
You have talked a lot about having multiple threats offensively, a lot of talented guys. Is there anyone you think really is chomping at the bit for this conference tournament environment that you might take a bigger role, just get really fired up for it?
Yeah, I mean, I think, all the guys that have been in the rotation for us, man, they're all capable of putting the ball in the bucket. We've had a lot of different guys step up at different times. I think there'll probably, 1 or 2 guys that stick out on a game. That's kind of how March games are won. But I think anybody that we call their number, I know they're going to be prepared, they're going to be confident, they're going to be ready to help us win.
Yes, Coach Rick. All right, Coach, beginning of the season, one of the first things you said, we think we've signed a pretty good post player. If you would, introduce him, tell us what he means to your program.
Yeah, big fellow, man. Armani, I see you guys don't know, I've been trying to get Armani up here for about 2 months, but this is a scholar athlete. We're on spring break, so he could actually join us today. Normally, he might have the fullest class load of anybody in our team. But no, I'm so glad you actually got a chance to come today, because you guys see Armani on the court. In my opinion, he's the best forward in the league. He plays with great motor, great intensity. But if you watch him after, that's my favorite. You see all those kids running around after the game, and he's the first one, giving them all hugs, picking them up. There's no better representation, no better human. No one I've really had more fun coaching than Armani Mighty. And yes, I think he's the best forward in the league. I think he's an all-league player. I think he can help us win a championship. But when you get to go in the locker room and know that you're not just faking it for 40 minutes, you don't just fake it out there. This dude's the real deal, and fired up to go to Asheville with him. So, Armani Mighty.
All right, Armani, if you would, come up and give us an opening statement. How do you think the season's gone? How you've enjoyed playing here at Mercer, and preview what's coming up the next few days of the tournament?
For one, I'm excited to go to Asheville. Feel like Saturday really set the tone for us, beating ETSU. Coach been saying us since we got on campus in June that our best got to be in March, and right now is the time to show it.
Armani, I'm
Yeah.
curious. You for a tough year last year, you faced adversity early in your career. You come to Mercer, you come to Macon, and you just have a dream season. What's kind of going through your mind right now after the year that you've had and all the work that you've put in throughout your 3 or 4 years of college?
I've just been trying to stay confident. Obviously, my first 2 years not playing as much. Last year, I had to sit out because of injury. But I always knew what I was kind of capable of, so I just kind of kept my head up. Thank God every day, try to do what's right, and obviously try to just be the better version of myself every day. So every day I've been trying to come out and do the right thing.
And just one thing that I think I've noticed about your game is it's just you, like Coach said, you just play with a motor. You're everywhere. It seems like. So just how do you keep that going for 40 minutes a game, especially when you're asked to do. You have such an important job playing five every day.
Well, yeah, obviously, one, I've been trying to stay in shape. Like, even when I was hurt, I was always trying to find some sort of conditioning I could do. But also, it's just the fact that I care so much about the team that I want to do, like, anything that I can help. Like, even if I'm not getting the ball while I'm running, I just try to get other people open shots. So it's really not, like, as bad.
Obviously, Barack is from Canada too.
Yeah.
What's up with the Canadian connection? What makes Canadian basketball so special?
Yeah, we actually played AAU together. We played for about a year or two, and then this past summer we spent pretty much majority of the summer before even signing the Mercer training together. So I guess you guys can see that connection on the court as well.
Is that beneficial to like have somebody that you know from like is that like pretty common in basketball? You played AAU with somebody, you know somebody like as a basketball player. How does that help you grow, especially when you come to the same school and play together like you guys did?
Yeah, I feel like just knowing what type of player he was previously, like it was kind of a no-brainer once we got the same opportunity to come here. Just knowing that, like, obviously he's a guy that can score. I personally have him as a SoCon Player of the Year. Obviously having a guy that can score, facilitate, and then someone that's obviously going to get everybody else the ball. So it was good playing him.
You've also got a pretty good shot yourself. We saw you on social media the other day, almost maybe a half-court shot or two there.
Yeah, I'm sleeper with a shooter.
If you know, obviously, Coach loves. You guys shoot a lot of threes. If you had a chance, if you had a green light, if you were wide open, would you take a three?
Oh, it's going. If I get it, if I'm open, I'll shoot it.
Armani, what's your favorite memory from this year? You got a heck of a lot of double doubles to choose from, but maybe a specific game or something off the court that really sticks out.
Really just, well, game personally, it would probably be UNCG, just getting that one off the road. But there's been opportunities where, like, past teams, after tough losses, like, everybody will kind of get on each other. But this team hasn't really been the case. Coach did a good job of, like, recruiting a good group of guys. So, like, after each game, like, guys are pretty positive. Nobody's really hanging their heads. Nobody's really being negative. And that's a good thing.
Yeah. Talk to me a little about that connection.
Mhm.
Talk about you and Morocco, but how tight-knit has this group become, and how helpful is that when you go into a high-intensity tournament?
This group, pretty much since we got on campus, I feel like everybody's been kind of close. We all had a talk, like, it's been the same, like, all year. We kind of had the same talk a couple of times that we said the group's probably not going to be the same. Like, this group's never going to be together again. Like, we're going to have guys come in, we're going to have guys leave, so we just try to play for each other. Every day, try to be better for each other.
And then last thing, obviously you're fired up for the tournament naturally, right? But what are the conversations been like between you and your teammates? Just how are you putting that into words? If you're putting it into words at all, you guys talking to each other about it?
We've just been trying to tell each other that even if like our shots aren't falling, we just got to take pride in our defense, because that's been one of our issues on the road. I feel like if we're not making shots, then guys aren't really playing defense, and that's something I struggled with at the start of the season. So I've just been trying to help other guys get past it.
Armani, have certain areas of your game improved from the season opener at Tennessee until now? And then can you talk about how this coaching staff, and maybe Jay Mitch in particular, have helped you on certain areas of your game?
One has definitely been my finishing. I'm one of the, stats-wise, I'm one of the most efficient players in the league. So I feel like from Tennessee until now, like, there's been games where I've been missing, like, easy shots, like off the dribble, faking handoffs and stuff. But Jay Mitch, like, after every game we watch film, try to correct everything we've done. But he's been big for me, especially, like, he's also hurt, but he tried to get in the gym with me every now and then, try to do what he can, and we try to work together every day.
Armani, it's the time of the season that everybody really looks forward to around this of March and everything. And it seems like this is time where people have like kind of cemented their identity with their team. How would you describe this team, this group, now that you guys are moving into like the final phase of the season?
I feel like everybody's gritty. There's not a single guy that's, like, going out on the court and not gonna try to give it their best. Like, we got guys that have like got DMPs like a couple games, and they'll come out and they'll try their best. Like they're gonna make shots. They're gonna take pride on defense. They're gonna try their best in every aspect. And everybody knows what they have to do. Everybody got a role on the team. Nobody's really trying to force any issues. But,
Anything else from Armand? And just for the record, he did attempt 1 3 this year, and it rimmed in and kicked out. He almost was perfect from the floor shooting threes this year. Armani, thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, again, recapping the men's tournament actually gets underway on Friday with 7 versus 10, 8 versus 9. Mercer guys, as we said a moment ago, 8:30 Saturday night against Western Carolina, 4 versus 5. The semifinals will be Sunday. Championship games Monday night at 7. Coach, Armani, best of luck to you.